Hey friends, and welcome back to Documenting Magic, a series all about documenting your magical memories from your Disney trips. I am going to share with you a really fun page and a great idea for documenting all of those wonderful trip stats. So that's what this page is called. I'm using a pocket page style layout. Now, there are a lot of details that I want to remember about this trip, but I thought it would be interesting to document things like how much money we spent, how many miles we walked, how long it took us to plan this trip, because it did take us about a year and a half to plan this trip. Just something interesting to maybe recall later down the road when we're going through and looking at our Disney World vacation albums. So I'm going to start with this pocket card, and this is from one of the Say Cheese collections. Now, if you watch my earlier videos, I do have a whole video where I talk about all the materials that I curated for this project. So I'll post a link down below so you can check out that video. So I'm taking this pocket card from the Sage Cheese collection. It says Dreams Do Come True. And then I added some Pebbles black font stickers there at the top, as well as some thickers, red glitter stickers to spell out the title Trip Stats. Now I'm going to embellish this a little bit with a little gold heart, again from the Sage Cheese collection. And then I'm going to add some enamel dots just for a little bit of texture and some whimsy there on that card. And I think I'm going to call that good. Yep. So that card is all done for my title card. Next up is a photo of my family and I riding the beautiful teacups. This, I'm telling you, I waited years to do this. And I was so excited. I was so giddy. I think I squealed just like a little kid. I was very excited to ride the teacups. And so that's the proverbial picture that you must take whenever you are riding the teacups, whether you're at Disney World or Disneyland. Now, the embellishing on that photo is going to change later on the video, so we'll come back to that. Next up, I'm going to create the card that's going to say 18 months. I did type out my journaling because I found it was just easier than to write. So the card's going to read 18 months of planning and waiting for our epic vacation. And all I did was I typed out my journaling. I'm cutting it into journaling strips. So you guys know I love doing that. That card at the top is already a pre-made card, which is why I like this collection, because a lot of the hard work is already done. So all I had to do was add some accents and my journaling and some font stickers, and I was good to go. So that card's pretty much done. I'm going to add on this flat back flare, and I think that looks cute. And then I think I'm going to add another one. No, I think I'm not. There we go. So that one is all done. So next up, I'm going to work on a card that's going to read, we traveled 1,128.8 miles from Fort Worth, Texas to Orlando, Florida. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am never driving to Disney World again. It took us 2 days. We did an overnight stay in Alabama. And while we love road trips, I think what we were most concerned with is Disney World is an incredibly active vacation. And after the anticipation of going and driving and getting stuck in traffic, and we almost missed our kickoff dinner reservations, and it was just insane. And then walking the parks for 5 days straight, and then having to get in the car and drive another 2 days back home was like, no, we're not doing that again. We're definitely going to be flying. I know a lot of people drive and they prefer to do that, but my God, we were exhausted. So that 1,128.8 miles was a lot for us, and we'll probably won't ever do it again. But I have it documented in my album. We were pretty good on the first few hours of the trip, but after that, it was like, I think this is for the birds. All right, so I added in my typed journaling, some thickers font, and then I'm also going to pop up this little star here using some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I'm sorry for the shaking there. My table is shaking, and I'm not sure why. And then I'm going to add that little star there next to the little sentiment that says Hello Magic, and that one is done. Next up is a picture of the resort hotel we stayed at. We stayed at the Port Orleans Riverside Hotel in the Royal Guest Suite. Now, if you're going to do Disney, and if you have a kid that likes princesses, I would consider the Royal Guest Room. It is themed for Princess Tiana. It's absolutely beautiful, and the headboard has a cute little design, like a fireworks design, and it lights up, and it was fantastic. The pictures don't do it justice, and I'll be scrapbooking about that here in a couple of weeks. So anyway, we stayed in the Royal Guest Room. It was fantastic. The resort itself is beautiful, and we just had a really good time. I took a picture of the front entrance there, and I'm going to scrapbook more about the resort later on in the scrapbook, but I just wanted a picture sort of represent where we stayed. So I'm going to add a little banner sticker there. I also added the beginning parts of the text for the next card, and it says, we stayed at, and I'm going to spell out Port Orleans Riverside in some Jenny Bolin fonts here in just a second. So I'm adding this tag. It's already pre-made from the Say Cheese collection, which was perfect, and it has a little camera that's popped up. And that was just really perfect for this particular card. Now I'm going to spell out Port Orleans Riverside using those Jenny Bolin Studio fonts. This is an old sticker font that I pulled out, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. I hoarded it for quite a while, and this is my last set. So I have that all spelled out, and then of course the bottom line is resort. We stayed at the Port Orleans Resort in the Royal Guest Room, so that finished up that card. So I reprinted the teacups picture because I didn't like the stickers that I put on it originally, so I added the sticker that says "This Moment." And I think that's about all I do for that one. Moving on to the next, the back side of the page. I have a title card there that says a bunch of characters, and of course that's already done for me, so I just had to slip that in the pocket. Next step, I'm going to create a card. Of course, this is all pre-made. All I'm adding is my text that says "We Walked," and I'm going to use those same Jenny Bolin stickers to spell out 150,000 steps between 4 Disney parks. Between myself and Aubrey and Corinne, we walked a lot. We probably averaged almost maybe 15,000 steps per day. It was a lot of walking, so I got my steps in for the year. So next up, I wanted to scrapbook how many Mickey ears we wore, and we had 6 styles of Mickey ears, which I'm obsessed with and will probably buy more and collect them. So I can use that little pre-made banner and sort of alter that card a little bit. Then I'm going to add number of ears worn. That's what I typed up on my computer. Next up, I'm going to add the number 6 from one of my Thickers fonts, a little red sparkly font there. And then I felt it needed something else, so I'm going to add a little Mickey ear sticker. I thought I was going to place that 6 over the ear, but I decided to leave it to the side, so that one's done. Next up, adding a little die cut that says Magic Moments. I'm going to pop that balloon up on some, actually no, I'm going to adhere the balloon to that little 2x2 square that says Magic Moments. And then I'm going to pop all that up on some foam squares. Now the foam that I'm using in my pocket scrapbooks are the, oh goodness, Stampin' Up! Foam, and it's not very thick. This one I'm also using craft foam because again it's not very thick, and it's perfect if you want to add some dimension to your pocket pages. So this one's just going to be strictly decorative. No stats are going to go on this card. I'm going to add some adhesive there to the back of that fun foam and then pop that up on the card, and that looks really cool. I'm going to add a little gold star to that just to embellish it just a tiny bit more. It doesn't need a whole lot because that card, the base card, is already beautiful enough. I just wanted to add those small little elements. So next up, I wanted to document how much we spent on our trip. So that M is actually not for money, it's for Mickey, because I love that M so much. I'm going to adhere that onto this beautiful card, this yellow and cream striped card. And then underneath that, I typed up trip expenses all in, and I'm going to spell out $5,100 and add a little dollar sign using a little dollar sign stamp. Now this money that we spent on this trip, we paid out over the course of 18 months, and we are a delayed gratification type vacationer, so we would rather wait a long time in order to have the type of vacation experience that we want. And I will tell you, it was worth every single penny that we spent. It was a fantastic experience, and we plan on doing it again and again. We'll probably Disney vacation once every other year. And in fact, we'll probably go into Disneyland in April, and we'll probably go back to Disney World next October. I have learned since then a lot of ways to save money on the trip. So if you are someone who's watching this video and you are thinking about going to Disney, do you have to spend that much money? No, it's dependent upon a lot of different things, and there's lots of vlogs out there that will definitely provide ways of which you can save tons of money and still have a fantastic Disney experience. To add a few finishing touches, I have this die cut that says Believe that I'm layering there over that camera card. It's beautiful. Put my little glue thing there to hold that down while it adheres. Then I'm going to add some stickers to this photo of my daughter and I. We were at Chef Mickey's and just super excited to be there. And those stickers say Cheese and Happy Together. That's one of my favorite photos from the trip. All right, so that completes this pocket page trip stats, and I think these are just really fun details to document and to have in your albums as you are remembering and reminiscing and documenting all of those fantastic trip details. And you know what? It may change from year to year depending on how often you travel to Disney or do a Disney vacation. Maybe it's your only trip that you'll ever take, but it's great to have those memories. Maybe it's comparing it to previous years. I think having this type of information is just so important. A really fun detail for a Disney World scrapbook album. So be sure to jot down your trip stats so that you'll have them ready when you get ready to document your magic memories. To see photos of this layout, head on over to the Victoria Marie blog, and when you're there, make sure to subscribe. And speaking of subscribing, if you haven't already, subscribe here to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel and become a part of the Scrap Boss community. When you do, click the bell indicator. That way you'll know every time a new video is posted.